What's up, you guys? Mike Lazarecki here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about one of my new favorite features of Adobe Photoshop 2021, and that is the sky replacement feature. Now, I'm going to hit you with the intro, and we'll get right into it just after that. Go! So last week during Adobe Max, Adobe dropped Photoshop 2021 among some other pretty epic updates to other applications, but today we're going to focus on Photoshop, and specifically we're going to focus on the sky replacement feature. And the reason I am focusing on this is because if you've ever done sky replacements in photography in the past, you'll know that depending on the photo, sky replacements can become a real tedious job. So much so that in a lot of cases, I kind of just resorted to not doing sky replacements anymore. And really for the past several years, I've pretty much avoided it. In a lot of cases, even if I thought that a specific photo would look extra cool with a much more badass looking sky, I pretty much avoided doing sky replacements for a long time now because I just didn't have time, but not anymore. Adobe, using I think what it's called as their Sensei AI system, has managed to be able to create a system to where you can pretty accurately, right out of the gate with the click of one button, replace the sky in your photos, and it looks really great. Also, hey, if you're just checking this channel out for the first time, I just want to give you a heads up. I love to cover this photography and filmmaking stuff, tips and tricks, different kinds of cool things that we can do with photography. Also, I'm starting to do a little bit more vlogging, and that's just kind of a cool way for us to be able to hang out virtually and just, you kind of come along with me if you want to or not. But yeah, if you do kind of dig the content that I make on this channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for me, because it does kind of help me, if nothing else, sort of feel like somebody wants to watch this stuff. So either way, if you have been watching this channel for a while, thank you so much, especially if you are subscribed. I appreciate it. Now, let's move on to the tutorial. All right, so once we've opened up Adobe Photoshop 2021, what we need to do from there is actually select the photo that we're going to work with. Now, I am going to work with this photo here, which is a GoPro photo from a trip to Drummond Island that I took with my cousins earlier this year. Super fun trip, and I'm sure I will talk about that on the channel sooner or later. But this is the photo we're going to use, and we're not really going to do much with it in the RAW developer here. So let's just go ahead and click on Open. And it'll take a second to open up. Here we go. So you can see in this photo, we have just sort of a drab gray sky, and there's a little bit of detail in there, but it's kind of boring. And to be honest with you, this weekend that we went on this trip was maybe the worst weather to go on any kind of up north trip. We could probably do a little bit of work on it and pull some detail out and make it look okay. But this is definitely a photo that is a good candidate for a sky replacement, because if that sky was a little bit more interesting, it might actually be a really, really exciting looking photo. So what we can do is we can go in and replace the sky with the new feature. Now, real quick, so it used to be that if you wanted to do a sky replacement in a photo like this, you would actually have to go in and manually mask out all these little trees and the details in the rocks, and you could do that with some tricks with different types of masks, like a Luma mask or other types of things, by using channels and changing the contrast and using that to make your selection. And a lot of those things were pretty effective from the standpoint of making that selection. However, it would still take quite a bit of time when you had a lot of detail to work with. Thanks very much to Adobe and the technology that they're utilizing with their Sensei system and all of the AI that they're using to make these kinds of selections now. Now you can replace the sky in a photo like this pretty accurately with one click. Maybe two, but check it out. Watch this. So you go up here to your edit menu, you're going to go down to sky replacement and click on that guy, and it's going to do a little processing, and boom, check that out. This is, in my mind, a totally acceptable finished sky replacement. What's cool about the way that they're doing this is that it goes through and intelligently selects out your horizon, selects out your sky, and then replaces it with a photo of a sky, which you can customize. It comes with some skies that are preloaded, which I'm sure eventually we'll all start to recognize online that, oh yeah, that's the Photoshop 2021 sky replacement. That's like Sky 4 or whatever. But In order to replace that sky with something custom, you can go up here and click this drop-down arrow and click on this plus icon, and that will allow you to select a sky that you have that's a more custom sky replacement sky, and then you can totally customize the whole thing. What's cool here is, let's see, we can go ahead and select a different one from the pre-baked ones, and they all look pretty darn good right out of the gate. That's a cool one. I think I actually really liked that first one we were using. This one looks pretty sweet. The other thing that you should note here is when you change these skies over, you can see that it changes the color in the foreground too to kind of more accurately match what your sky is looking like, which is super cool. I think that that really sells the effect a lot better. And yeah, let's see. Ooh, that looks really nice. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. Now, some other settings that you could set in here is you could shift the edge, which is going to basically change where that horizon edge kind of lands, which you can see it kind of affects things a little bit more or a little bit less depending on where you put it. You can fade the edge more or less. Right now it's set to 100 by default. We can reduce that, and you can see that it kind of makes the edge of your sky replacement a little bit harsher. Nice thing about fading that edge is it does sort of lend itself to that image kind of disappearing off into the horizon. Now you can also change the brightness of your sky, and you can change the color temperature of the image as well, and it will adjust to kind of match, which is pretty sweet. So now that we've selected a sky that we really like, if we go down here and click OK, so depending on what we've changed in that dialog box, it's going to create new layers for the sky mask. It's going to create a new layer for your foreground lighting, and it's going to create a new layer for your foreground color, which is all pretty cool. Now you have all of these masks that you can adjust manually if you need to sell the effect a little bit better. In this case, I don't think we really need to. So now that I've already done my sky replacement super quick and easy like that, I'm going to unlock this layer. I'm going to merge these layers. And now I'm going to go back into my camera raw filter, make some adjustments, throw a vignette on there. Boy, that's an ugly looking vignette. There we go. We'll get that guy feathered out a little bit. Midpoint in there, that's too much. Let's kind of dial that back a little bit. And now I think I have a photo that I really dig. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. We've got this photo. I'm going to export that guy, and bang, I am already done with a sky replacement and an image adjustment just like that. So there it is. One simple step to do full-blown sky replacements in Photoshop 2021. And what's really nice is that when you use this feature, it automatically creates your mask layers and allows you to be able to adjust what Photoshop does automatically on a manual basis to make it look even better. But I love how it automatically adjusts the lighting and automatically creates that selection of your sky really almost perfectly right out of the box. So no more avoiding sky replacements for me. If I think a photo looks like it could use one, pretty sure I can deal with this process in my workflow now. So yeah, thank you, Adobe. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, consider subscribing, and yeah, get out there and take some photos, replace some skies with Adobe Photoshop 2021, and consider dropping me some links in the comments so I can see your work using these same techniques. And yeah, until then, I will see you guys next time. Later.